Good morning, YouTube. It's the Lofty Biker here, John Lofty. I'm making my way back down to Falmouth again to Ocean BMW. As you know, I came down the other day and took the XR out. Well, the main reason I came down was to book my RS in for an MOT, and they were ever so busy. But they promised me they could do it this morning, Monday morning. So I'm going to get my RS MOT'd, and I'm going to take out an R9t while I'm doing it. So we'll get parked up and I'll see you in a minute. Oh, nice, easy. Clunk into first now. No undue noises or anything. Very smooth, very quiet. First impressions are, it's quite a small bike. Dinky. But then again, I am a big lad. So I just put my voice down so I can chat to you. So what have we got here? We have got a brand new 2021 BMW R9t. Now Eva tells me this is equivalent to the old Sport. So it's got the posh forks, the upside down forks. It's got the ride-by-wire throttle, and it's got riding modes, and it has been fitted with cruise control. I believe that this engine is more or less the same as the previous incarnation from 2015, based on the 2008 GS engine. So it's a double overhead cam, air cooled. In fact, I'm amazed how quiet the lump is, the air cooled engine. This is much quieter than my RS. The wind blast is not too bad. I'm doing a nice steady 50 in fifth gear going up the big hill. Very, very smooth, very little vibes. I'd say in general a nice bike. What she did say to me though, to beware of, couple of points. It's not the best for pillions. The rear seat is what she said, it's boon hard. She said your missus wouldn't really appreciate you taking her out on it. I said okay, I shan't be anyway. She said it's really a solo bike for going around posing on. The main difference, she said, between this and the earlier version is the ride-by-wire throttle. And she said there's a couple of things you have to be careful of. She said when you very first start it up, she said it's quite noisy, it ticks over quite quick for about 20 or 30 seconds, and then it settles down to a nice, quiet, even rhythm. She said if you just start it and ride off on it, you do get a little bit of a surgy throttle. She said it's as if the system needs to just set itself up before you go for a ride. You're trying to mix old and new technologies. I've got to say it's a pretty bike. This one's in the gloss black. Like I say, it's the equivalent to the old R9t Sport. It's got tubeless. That's one of the big advantages of this one over the last one, I believe. It's got tubeless hoops, but I'll do a bit more of an in-depth talk when I do a walk round. Extremely smooth. Nice bike. We'll just turn off here towards Myla. There's a few little twisties we can have a bit of a play in. Quite a lot of travel on the brake lever. So here we are. Gearbox is quite slick actually. It's not how I remember the 08 GS. I remembered it being quite a clunky old affair. Here, I'll just do a bit of an overtake. Now I don't like clutchless, so we'll have to use the clutch for a bit. It's not exactly warm yet. I've only just come out and I've just put some petrol in. It's quite grunty. Picks up well. There's nobody behind me, so I'll just second gear, 30 mile an hour, put the brakes on. Oh yeah, pretty damn good. Same again, second gear, 30 mile an hour, nobody about. Yeah, the back brake's not too bad actually. The ABS was kicking in, but it gave me quite a nice solid feel. Yeah. First impressions. It's got the old-fashioned narrow grips on, handlebar grips. I've got the grip puppies on mine, so they feel a bit bigger, but mine in general feel a bit more substantial. But not bad at all. So we'll have a bit of a ride. Here we go. The wind blast is not too bad at all. There we go, a little car coming, nice and steady. Clear from the left. Down to the junction. Suspension's quite compliant. I should imagine there's not a lot of preload on because Eva's not very tall. So I'll just have a razz down a mile of bridge. Yeah, it gets you up to national speed limit, 60 mile an hour very quickly. You can understand why the GS was such a good seller, because the overall package and the engine was a good engine. Fourth and fifth gear clutchless changes are quite easy. We've not needed sixth yet, we're not going quick enough. Steering's very positive, very light, extremely flickable. We've got new Bridgestones on it. I don't think it's done very many miles actually. The Odo says 459 mile. And I've had a bit of a scroll through and I can't see no difference. So I should imagine it's a pretty brand new bike, because they've only been back open, the dealership, since the 12th, where everybody were furloughed away. There we go, nice pheasant. We'll stay on the top road down to Myler Harbour, dog walker and a cyclist. Dropping down into a 30. We've got no additions like hill start control or anything like that. It's quite basic. I believe the modes are just rain and road, and of course there's no posh suspension where you set it to automatic. It's got an old-fashioned preload adjuster, and the forks on this model are fully adjustable. These are quite, try and get you the picture, quite trick forks. They're adjustable for preload and rebound. Very stable, very well balanced. It's a cinch to do really slow manoeuvres. Just feathering the back brake and the clutch. I would imagine a 3-point turn would be absolute doddle on this. It's got fairly wide bars. Yeah, I'm quite impressed with the gearbox, to be fair. It's very positive. It snicks in very easily. Yeah. This is a bike I could live with day to day. In fact, for riding on these roads around here, absolutely perfect. So I'm going to drive down to the harbour and give you a bit of a walk down, so I'll see you in a minute. Good morning YouTube, the Lofty Biker here, Lofty John. I brought you down to Myler again, down to the harbour at Myler. I'll just turn it round so you get a chance to have a little bit of a look. Absolutely beautiful place this. I often come down here to do a bit of a talk, and today I've got the BMW R9t. So I'll spin the camera around. There we are, the BMW R9t, brand new, 2021 plate. A few little extras fitted on this one. This one's actually Eva's bike from down at Falmouth. First thing you notice strikingly is the LED headlights. Beautiful LED headlights, LED turn signals. Front and rear. So it's an 1170 air-cooled boxer twin, which was developed for the GS around 2008. Throws out 109 brake horsepower at 7,250 revs, 85 foot-pound of torque at 6,000 revs. It's got ABS Pro, upside down forks, fully adjustable. It's got a seat height of 805mm, so it's fairly low. 20 litre fuel tank, which is about 4 litres of reserve. A gross weight, which is quite good because there's very little on it, of 219 kilos. There are a number of bikes in this range now. The R9t Pure with the standard forks, then you get this one with the posh spokes, tubeless rims, the R9t, and then they're a little bit more expensive are the R9t Scrambler and the R9t Urban GS. Very trendy, the Urban GS. They used to do one called the Racer, but I'm not sure if it's still in the lineup. It's one I've not seen around. There's a couple of local lads got them. There's no extras, no acros and nothing on this. This is just a bare bones basic R9t Sport. And I must say, I think it's a very nice bike. So I'll let you take a good look at it. Bit of a close-up for the clocks. Good old-fashioned clocks. Mirrors are quite effective. Work well. Noticeably quiet, the engine. I'm really impressed how the air-cooled engine is so quiet. I'll give you a look at the spokes. So they fit nice and easy around the outside of the rim like that, so I'm surprised more others haven't done this method. Very easy to clean. Nice bike. So next time you see me, I'll have my helmet on. Okay YouTube, so I'm back on the bike. I should imagine that these bikes will mainly be town bikes and the occasional Sunday afternoon blaster where you nip up into your local hills and do some twisties, which I think it'll be a good all-round bike for. Although the seat is firm, I'm finding it fairly comfortable. But I'll just take you through Falmouth. The one good thing is you're not all cluttered up with screens and fairings. You're fairly forward, but visibility's very good. The mirrors are quite low, so it's quite easy to see up, round and above. These Maccas, very popular today. Well, it's very popular every day. I'll just nip past the Ocado man. It is a 40 zone, this. The sun's trying its best to peep through. It's been a chilly night. They tell me it got down to about 6 degrees overnight and we're going to have a high of about 14 or 15, which is a lovely spring day. So I'm ticking along nicely in fourth gear, 40 miles an hour. getting a bit of wind noise. But this next helmet, well, that's very stylish, and the colours match up with my RS well. It's a fairly noisy helmet. I have got the vents all closed off to hopefully allow the microphone to work well. Just coming down the traffic lights. One of those old-fashioned lights where they've got the cameras on the lights to stop you jumping. I believe most of the cameras now in and around Falmouth and Plymouth, and especially Exeter, are all active. We don't very often get camera vans down here. We're fairly lucky. Those mainly go on the A30 to catch the speeders on the A30, so we're quite lucky. I could just feel the heated grips through. One thing I probably didn't mention was the price. I suppose when you start looking at these £20,000 and £25,000 motorbikes, the R9t at 12 grand looks a bit cheap. I do think it's a niche bike, but I do think 12 grand's probably its price. It's finished off really well. No access past Gulliver's Hill. Oh, bad luck, we've got a couple of tankers in the bay. There we go, there's a few boats crossing. The old hotels on the front here. A lot of people never realise we've got beaches in Falmouth. They just think it's the harbour and the town. But Gulliver's Beach is very nice, very pretty. And a bit further up we've got Swamp Pool. I'm not taking it on the motorway. I don't see the point in riding a naked bike on the motorway. That will probably very rarely ever use a motorway. They have fitted the cruise control. I think it's because it's probably a generic part across the range, like I was saying earlier. Now it's just easier to fit it than not fit it. But I don't think many of these R9Ts will be used as a motorway touring bike. There'll be quite a lot of wind blast. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you couldn't tour on it. Of course you could tour on it. Put some throwovers on. You do have to be careful because it's got slightly high dual can on the left hand side, so you just have to be careful what sort of throwovers or tail pack you fitted. But if this was my bike and somebody said we're going to Scotland for 4 days, do you come in? I wouldn't let it put me off at all. I'd say yes please, count me in. I'm getting ready for a coffee now, folks. Let's have a bit of a razz around the lanes, and I'll give you a bit of a wind up. Yeah, spirited riding, it's quite good. Clocks are very intuitive, easy to read, easy to see. We've got an odometer on the left, which is a speedometer, and we've got a little LED on the right with a gear position indicator, which is a nice big gear position indicator, very easy to see, with a Teco. Nothing too posh, in keeping with the style. Good old retro. We're stuck behind the white Abacus taxi. I'm going to get past him. Nice pickup. You don't need to thrash these bikes. When you get 5,000-6,000 revs, up to 7 say, they just take off. This is a fairly uneven road surface. Cyclist on the left. But the suspension's soaking it up well. Very nice. On the brakes round the bend. Better slow down by the shop. Here we go again, pick up. beautiful. Right, I'm going to take a right here. I'm going down the Aggle. I'm going to have a cup of tea. Second gear pickup. Oh, it handles well, this does. Get them on the twisters and enjoy yourself. Oh, I thought it was reversing out then. Not to worry. Anyway, so the R9t Sport. About 12 grand. What do you reckon? I love it. I absolutely love it. It's the most fun I've had on a bike for a bit. It reminds me of my old Bonnie, my old T100, and he got loads more power and handles in a different league. I know you take the new T120s out, but they ain't got the handling this has got. They just have not got the handling. With a proper monoshock suspension, 17-inch rims, absolutely superb. Would I buy one? I wouldn't spend 12 grand on one, but if I could pick one up a couple of years old that's been loved and cherished, I would absolutely love it. Anyway, I'm in the traffic again, so this is the Lofty Biker signing out. I've got to take Eva the bike back and saying ta-ra for now. See you next time. Ta-ra.